Welcome everyone, this is Chef Jamal and this is Chef Jacobson Valentine. We are here cooking out of the Cancer Fighting Kitchen cookbook and we found the easiest chicken and broccoli recipe.
So easy.
So simple. More importantly, it's also healthy.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Ingredients we're going to need today is going to be chicken, arrowroot, water, cashews, rice wine vinegar, lime juice, maple syrup, sesame oil, cayenne pepper, more water, ginger, garlic, tamari, broccolini. Tools you need for the kitchen: wok, a burner, stirring spoon, and a strainer. Let's get to cooking.
Step one. So we got our chicken from the store,
Yep.
right? And the first thing that we did is we cut it up into bite-sized pieces,
Yep.
right? And then after that, we added our marinade, which has salt and lime into that.
Yep.
And then we let
Freshly
that
squoze.
freshly squoze, because past tense, right? Got to get it right. We then put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes to an hour, and you can do this while you're prepping all of your veggies, while you're gathering all of your stuff from your pantry. So it doesn't need to be overnight. We just need a minimum of 20 minutes, right? So now that we see that there's all of this liquid in there, right?
Yep.
We need
because we're tenderizing, so we're kind of brining it. We're bringing out all the extra water out of the chicken, and then we're infusing that water with salt and putting it back into the chicken.
Yes.
So that's super important. So you notice that it's actually almost kind of ceviche it. It's
Yeah.
cook the chicken a little bit.
You see that the protein here started to change different colors. Really super dope. So now we want to get this liquid that it's been chilling in.
Yep. I'm gonna turn the wok on because this wok's gonna take a little bit of time to get heated up.
So we need to get that hot. So while I am patting this dry and getting this ready for our wok, do you want to tell us about stir fries and woks and all of that?
So woks are super important because what it is the flat surface on the bottom. That's where the heat is generated. So that's why we want to make it really hot, because anything that goes in the bottom is going to cook really fast. The rest is going to kind of be the chill zone. So if you put things on the sides, it's going to chill. It's not going to cook as fast, and it's not going to sear. So what we want to do is get this our pan nice and hot. This wok needs to be on high. It's going to smoke a little bit, and that's totally natural, especially if you season it. Do not freak out. Open a window, turn the fan on. You're going to be okay. Now, the act of stir frying is not, and I repeat, is not searing. It is constantly moving the food to cook it. So you're not going to get those giant, great sears or anything like that. It's literally just constantly moving the food and cooking it. That's what stir fry is. So we have our chicken that's done being marinated, and it's dried out a little bit. You got most of the marinade off.
Got most of it off of it.
So we're gonna get the oil real quick. We're gonna put it on the bottom. Nice. And again, it might seem like there's a lot of oil, but it's just we want to actually have enough oil to cook everything and have things not be sticking.
And we want to get the oil all the way around the pan.
Yep. Seasoning up the pan a little bit.
Great.
Beautiful. Oh, I turned it off. All right. Oil shimmering. That's a good first sign. Let's get that chicken in there. So again, we don't have to add salt. It's already been added. Nice and happy. Gonna be careful. Beautiful. And we're gonna kind of spread it out. All right. And then, now that it's all a little bit of oil on everything, we're gonna keep moving it. And we're gonna start the cooking process. So I'm gonna let Jamal start on that. We're gonna start on our marinade. Now the marinade is super important because this is what's gonna flavor everything. We're going to, while that's cooking also, we're gonna add in our ginger and garlic. We need to add those in because we need that to start adding into the oil, flavoring our chicken. But our sauce, very super simple. We're gonna have our soy sauce. Now we're gonna cut it down a little bit with some water. Super important.
Because if we didn't, it'll just be super salty.
Super salty, we don't want that. We're gonna add in our rice wine vinegar. That's gonna give some acidity. And we're gonna put our lime juice. A little bit of sweetness, but also it's going to give kind of a little brightness to our dish as well. We have our sugar, which we're using maple syrup, not regular brown sugar. So going more natural sugars, which we will definitely talk about another time. Sesame oil. Now this is really flavorful, aromatic. It's something that you can definitely taste throughout your food. You really want that in Asian cuisine. And then let's heat it up with a little bit of cayenne pepper. All right, so we got all of our ingredients in. Now that is going to be our sauce. I'm gonna grab a spoon.
Now, As you can see, all of these ingredients, right? Most of these ingredients should be in your pantry.
Yep.
And if you have to go to the store to get your seasonal vegetables, so the recipe calls for broccoli, but we're using broccolini.
Broccolini.
Oh, I love broccolini so much.
It's Italian.
Oh my goodness, it's these thin stems and these beautiful, let's call them florets, right?
Florets.
Florets. Really lends well to the dish because of the high heat cooking and the liquid in there. It's going to cook up really nicely.
Yep.
So that's going to be a great addition to our dish here. If you can't get broccolini, broccoli is totally fine. This broccolini was organic, so it cost us $3 for a little bundle.
Yep.
So between that and the chicken, we're looking at a meal that's under $10.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a good starting of cooking of our chicken. We're gonna start adding in the broccoli right now. Now, this is super important. We're adding the broccoli now because the cooking of the chicken is actually releasing steam. Steam is gonna help kind of steam our broccoli to get it cooked fully. Because we're not blanching. We're really letting the steam from the food cook the broccoli all the way through. So we're keeping it moving, keeping it moving. Now let's talk a little bit about thickeners.
Oh yeah.
Now there are different types of thickeners that in Asia they use. One of them is cornstarch, another one is potato starch, and then we have arrowroot. Now arrowroot is a very natural anti-inflammatory thickener, which I love. And it's just like cornstarch, where you throw it in some cold water, and that's what you're gonna do to kind of thicken up your sauce versus maybe a roux or cornstarch, because corn is not always good for you. So if you're trying to eliminate corn out of your diet, this is a really good alternative. You can also use potato starch, but again, that is also high in the sugar aspect, and we really want to try to eliminate as many processed sugars as possible. So you can see our broccolini, nice and turning different colors, getting nice and deep dark. That's what we want. Our chicken's pretty much almost fully cooked now, so it's looking really good.
So cutting our chicken into bite-sized pieces really gave us the opportunity to cook this very fast. If you have big chunks of meat in there, it's gonna take a lot longer. But luckily these chicken thighs are small pieces, so they're gonna cook fairly quickly.
Yep. So now we're gonna add in our sauce. Like we said, this is very fast, very quick. If you're a family and you're like, you know, trying to get some food in your kids right after school, this is an easy dish to go with. You can pick it from the store, take it from the store, take it to the counter, chop, prep everything, take it to the wok, and within like, I would say 2 hours, you have a meal for 4 people. Which I think that's super important is when we're talking about like quick meals, because we have families that are out there that are trying to be more cost effective. Going out is not really an option anymore because I mean gas prices are now $5.
Everything's expensive out there.
So we really want to think about like, hey, like if people have to eliminate the amount of going out, like let's go and give them some amazing healthy recipes that are quick. And this entire dish is less than $10 and it's gonna feed easily 4 people. And then you add in the rice and I mean, you might even have, so if you're a single person, that's 4 meals right
This is all week. So your meal prep essentially is done, right? And you can add rice to this, you can do this over cabbage, you can do this with couscous, you can do this with potatoes, you can do this
sweet potatoes,
more veggies,
plantains,
starches,
everything.
Yeah.
So now you can make it as healthy as you want. You can also substitute the chicken if you wanted to go with more like tofu or
tempeh.
Seitan. That's another one. So you notice that we didn't add in the arrowroot. Now this is super important because we want the sauce to kind of reduce a little bit and by itself and get a little bit of the water out so it's not too watery. But we also want the vegetables to kind of marinate. And once we add in the thickener, there's a high chance of it burning. So we need to, let the marinade or the sauce that we put in there to kind of permeate, and then we're gonna thicken things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a well in the middle. Again, remember, everything on the sides aren't cooking as fast, so this is super important. And then we're gonna add in our arrowroot. And we're gonna bring it up to a boil. So it's gonna take a little bit, it's gonna take probably a minute for it to come back to a boil because again, we dissolved our arrowroot in cold water. So it brought the temperature of the plate down. So now we just gotta bring it up and it's gonna start to thicken. So super important. Arrowroot, cornstarch, potato starch. You need to bring it up to a boil for it to fully activate its thickening power. If you just throw it in and then turn off the heat, it's never gonna thicken up. So super important when we're doing this, make sure you add in, bring it up to a boil so it starts to thicken up the way we want.
And the really cool thing about arrowroot, so we're talking about meal prep. So if you decide that you want to freeze a portion of this meal arrowroot as a thickener does really well once broken down in the freezer. So as you reheat it, it's gonna come out just as velvety and smooth and rich as when you first cooked it. So arrowroot is a great substitute as you meal prep things out and you need to freeze it.
Perfect. So our arrowroot's nice and thick. Our plate is ready. I think we are ready to eat.
Oh, let's do this.
And there you have it, the quick, easy, healthy, made from the Cancer Fighting Kitchen Cookbook, brought to you by Pink Lemonade. This is, I think, honestly, is going to be amazing.
It's going to be a knockout.
All right, let's get in there.
That chicken is tasty.
And it's not too salty. It has a little bit of heat, which is good. I think it's perfect. All right, while Jamal's finishing eating his, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us to another Culture Cooking episode. Make sure you like, share, follow, and tell us what you thought about this recipe. Are you going to try it at home? Because if so, let us know how it goes. Take pictures. Send us on Instagram at @FeedTheMass. And of course, go to our website, feedthemass.org, and show some support. Become a part of our newsletter. And of course, if you are part of our newsletter, we will get your digital magazine copy in your email every month. So, Jamal, thank you so much for helping me make this meal. I know it was super hard. It was difficult. But thank you guys so much for watching. And those of you at home, make sure, again, eat healthy, love each other, and cook something healthy today.
Thank you.
Bye.